on, y'all guys? It's Real Talk Louanna with 101.1 The Beat, Hip Hop and Hits, and I got the legendary RL in the building. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. No sleep yet, but I'm happy. I've been out here quite often. I love it out here, so I'm just ready to kick it tonight.
Okay, no sleep. So you just jumped from one event to the other.
Well, me and Fresh, we were in Minneapolis yesterday, which is my hometown, but I don't get back very often. So it's the Super Bowl, and it was just really crazy out there. Like, everybody's out there that you can imagine. We were at the airport this morning. We see Ray Shrimmer. We see everybody like this, either coming in or going out. Faith Evans. So it was crazy, but I'm gonna recharge, and it's gonna be on tonight.
Okay. So what is it like going home? You know, that's where you came up. I know, even as an R&B artist, that's where you got your start.
It's good and bad, because a lot of times people expect you to do things differently than you would do because it's home. But this is business. This is how I feed my family. You know what I'm saying? I don't really get back home as much because my son is an adult now. I have my daughter, but I got an adult son. Okay. He actually lives in Phoenix, which is crazy.
Okay.
So going home, I might go see my parents for a minute, but usually they fly to come see me to see my daughter, so it's kind of cool.
Okay, now let's talk a little bit about that, since you did have an older son and now you have a daughter, which I love her.
Thank you.
I see her on social media. She's such a character. So what's the difference from your older son to now raising your daughter?
See, I could sit here and give you the political answer, but I'm gonna keep it 100 because
okay.
Fresh said that you're a realist.
Yes, I am. Real talk.
So when I was younger, when my son was conceived, I was in high school. So his mother, she's a great mother, raised him really well, with my help, but she didn't let me see him like that because it was one of those, when you're young and you want to be with somebody, you think, okay, we're about to have a baby together, so we're going to be together. I hadn't even made it yet, so I hadn't even become an artist per se, and she kind of kept me from him. So we have a relationship, but he tries to have a homeboy relationship, but I'm dad. So there's times that he can be disrespectful, and he doesn't even mean to be, but that's my one regret in life, because I love him just the same as my daughter. And there wasn't social media out like that like there is now anyway, but I don't want him to see all these posts of his sister and feel a certain way, and hopefully he doesn't, because I love him exactly the same, but it's a girl. Plus, I'm 40 now, and it's literally, it's scary because I'm a math guy, so I'm like, okay, 58 should be 18, so I went and bought a Peloton bike, and I'm talking about I've always been in the gym, but I'm like extra going hard because I'm like, I gotta have that shotgun ready.
You gotta have that shotgun ready?
Man, what?
What is it? So is it a big difference because you're more protective because she is a little girl, and especially with everything that's going on in our society right now?
Yes and no. It's also because things have, I can't say slow down because I'm way busy now, but when you get older, you appreciate the little things. There were things that I was riled up with my son, his first steps, or him saying daddy the first time, things like that. With my daughter, she's right there every day. I literally, when I'm home, I pick her up from school and we hang out for a couple hours and just chill. I'm watching Baby First, and I'm learning all these kids songs that I never knew. It's crazy.
Well, I think, especially from watching you on social media, I think you're a great father, and I think that's very important, especially in the Black community. We talk so much about fathers that are absent, but we don't talk about the fathers that are actually there and putting in the work.
I agree. We also don't talk about the fathers that want to be there.
And the women that make it vivid.
Exactly.
Yes.
So there's so many different dimensions of this and angles we can go from. But to be honest, for me, I'm just appreciative that I can see her every day, even when I'm going out FaceTime her. And her one thing was always no. Now she goes, yeah. So I love it. It's crazy.
So I recently caught up on you on social media with your documentary. Is it a documentary film that's coming out?
You know what? It's not even coming out anymore. Not for now. The focus is going to be on, I know I'm here solo, but the focus is on next. We actually have the single. Literally, we just finished our deal. Literally. I was on the phone with my manager yesterday. The record's going to mastering today.
Okay, awesome.
So
big ups to Next. I know T-Lo and Tweet, so that's awesome.
Yeah, that's always been the main thing. But for me, I've become so much more. I was allowed to do things outside the group, partially because of them, so I have to thank them. But the Deborah Cox, the Tupac, the Tyrese Genuine and Case, and myself, different things I was allowed to do. So I can say, out of a lot of the groups that came out when we came out, people know my name. That's the big blessing for me. They know RL, or they'll look at me like, I know you from somewhere. So it's kind of cool.
So the documentary, though, you mentioned about suicide.
Of course.
I think that's huge because I don't think we talk about mental health. I don't think that we talk about what you go through as an artist. I think a lot of individuals just look at you as, oh my God, that's RL when he takes his shirt off. You know you're the ladies' man.
Nah, not me. That's sweet, but I'm growing into it a little bit. Maybe I'm getting a little more seasoned, but for me, I think that my testimony can help someone else, and I want people to know it hasn't always been all good. I know people met me early in my career, probably thought it was ego. It was really insecurity. Like, I don't need not say much. I don't want to come off immature. I'm not sure of myself. And I think a lot of artists are really insecure.
So one of my questions that I have is because I do know how you started out with Next, and then you had your solo career, and then you went back to Next. Tell me the difference of being in a group compared to having your solo career, and what are some of the benefits of both?
To be honest, I never wanted to do a solo career. We actually had a record out, the second album, and we were trying to do a third because when we put the second album out, that's when Clive Davis left Arista to start J Records. So we were the only group with a project out, so it hurt us. So they couldn't promote the album because Clive wasn't there anymore. So after Wifey, that's why you really didn't get to hear the next single, which was Beauty Queen. We didn't get to the third, nothing. So I went to the label to have a meeting because I'm the primary writer of the group. We do records like, yo, let's go in. They're like, it's too soon to be competing with yourself, but let us hand you $500,000 and you go do an album in LA. And I'm like, okay. So it was kind of like school for me. Me working on an album, I'd never been in the studio by myself, never had to do it all myself, and it became like, it was my college. I literally learned so much about being an artist from that situation that I was able to apply back, going back to the group. I prefer the group. I think the benefits of doing both is that I'm able to have other things on my calendar and that people do know my face and my name. And the thing about I guess you could say the hiatus from the group, the benefit is me being the baby, they always kind of ran me and bullied me. You know, big brothers, that's what happens. I think they respect me and what I bring to the table a little more now that I was away. So you appreciate me more now than I'm back.
No, I know that you write a lot of songs, and a lot of people don't understand that a lot of these R&B hits, you wrote them.
I write quite a few records, yeah.
What's the difference, I guess, with performing and writing?
For me, when you're writing for another artist, it's not about you. I remember early in my career, we went in the studio to work on a record that we didn't write when we first started our very first album. And the writer wanted T-Lo to sing the record just like he sang it. And what I realized is if the label wanted this song to sound like you, they would have signed you. You can be inspired by different people.
But don't copy them.
Exactly. You can look at like Cisco and you know, okay, listen, he loves KC. And that's the respect. That's dope. You can I look at like even Jagged, the two twins. They remind me of Charlie Wilson. You know, even Aaron Hall and R. Kelly remind me of Charlie Wilson. Okay. And that's dope. My mother told me a long time ago because she sang with Little Richard when she was younger. And she told me, listen, I used to try to be Tevin Campbell singing all his records and all that. She was like, be yourself. And that's what I would tell any artist. You can take things from different people. You can hear this interview and go, you know, what he said right here impacted me. I felt that part. Take that. But don't go and carbon copy some statement from somebody and try to make it your own. You can take different pieces from different people. I do that all the time. I study music. That's what I do.
So what do you feel is, I guess, the strengths compared to growing up in music and where we're at right now, especially with social media? Because now everybody thinks that there's somebody with being on social media.
It's crazy because I guess the hardest thing is I ask myself, I'm singing records I did 20 years ago and making a great living. My question is, and my fear for a lot of artists today is, what are they going to be singing in 10 or 20 years that they're doing now that I really want to hear? What's timeless? My cousin is Philip Bailey from Earth, Wind & Fire. So for me, you know, I've learned from people like that. They're touring still 30, 40, 50 years later. I'm not that old head that hates on new music because there's a lot of new music that I really love. You know, it's catchy.
I'm sorry, I'm the old head that likes the 90s.
You know, that's my favorite as well. But what I learned, even working on this new project, is humbling because you go, all right, we want our old audience, but there's also a new audience. I see a lot of my old counterparts putting out music that sounds dated. So you have to evolve. And the benefit for us is when you think about Next Records, you know who wrote them and was behind the boards. It was me and my brothers. When you think of some of these other groups and you think about their affiliation, which we used to be jealous of. When you think of the 12, which they're talented in their own right, even individually. But when you think about them, you think about Puff. You think about Jagged, you think about Jermaine.
Yeah.
So when they're not with them any longer, their sound changes. And I hate to say it, but when you come from our genre, they want that comfortable thing that they're used to.
They do.
So since it doesn't sound like that, they don't get the benefit of the doubt or the listen that they should. For us, I can create that sound all day because I created that sound. Yeah. So that's the benefit for us.
What advice do you have for artists, whether they're in a group or whether they're trying to do a solo album, especially nowadays?
Don't listen to me.
Oh, okay.
Because if you're a true artist, there's a difference, because we always say artists. There are a lot of singers and performers. Usher's one of my favorite performers. I've written for Usher before. Artist is somebody that you can put a palette in front of, a blank sheet of paper, leave the room for a while, and come back and there's a picture drawn.
Absolutely.
That's what I do. I'm not just a singer, but I write, arrange, there's different things. We seem to give these other performers and singers credit and call them an artist. They're not. You can dress them up and shine a light on them and make them look like a star, but you can't put them in the studio and close the door and come back and art is made.
That's important. So we're gonna be co-hosting tonight.
Yes.
It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
so
I'm scared because you're beautiful, so all the attention's gonna be on you.
Please, would you? You're legendary out here. Like, everybody's coming for our own. They're not coming for Louanna. We have I guess we have some local performances. We have Von. I don't know if they told you about him. So
I don't like to say local performers. I'll say people from here.
People from.
It kind of makes it sound like, okay, well, there's something going on and all right, Louanna's gonna be there, so let's find some people locally. Now these are artists that, one day we might be turned on TV and they'll be international. So we'll just say artists from the Phoenix area.
Artists from the Phoenix area. So we got Von Willis that's going to be performing live with his band. We got Dale G, who we actually play on the Beat Locker.
Let's go.
And we have Promise the Truth, who we also play on the Beat Locker, along with Alani Young. So it should be a lot of fun.
Well, I'm ready.
Club Envy tonight. It is free before 10 o'clock. $1 drinks before 10 o'clock. I mean, yeah.
Please.
Don't be asking for the Ciroc and all that. Right. They're going to tell you no. They're going to give you the real price. But definitely come out. And I know the Beat Squad's going to be there. We're going to be giving away some tickets and things like that. So it should be fun. And then you get to see, I guess I'm L and R and L.
Yeah, let me shout out my little homie from back home. Can't even say little because he's like going to be in the Hall of Fame. Larry Fitzgerald. He's out here.
Okay.
I know his little brother, his pops. I'm so proud of him.
I interviewed him a couple times. He's definitely a great guy.
Real great guy. I mean, amazing guy. Everybody sees him on the field and go, oh, he's such a great receiver. No, listen, that a person. His mother and father raised him well.
He's very humble. I had the opportunity to interview him a couple times at his charity events, and he's one of the most humble athletes that I've met. Because a lot of these athletes like to act like, yeah, I'm the macho man over here.
Yeah, but even when he sees me, it's all respect because I knew him when he was way younger, so it's pretty dope to see people grow like that. When I see him inducted into the Hall of Fame, I'm probably going to be just as proud as his brother Marcus and different people like that. So I'm excited. Hopefully he'll come out with you. I know he doesn't really go out like that, but Larry, if you're listening, come out.
Yeah, you might get him to come out. So what's happening with Next before we get out of here?
New Next album is called Next Rated, because the first album was called Rated Next. We've already recorded 70 records. The first single, I think, is going to be Take It, because we're mastering it today.
Okay.
We actually have 2 singles. We're about to shoot a video. We're starting the 41 city tour next Thursday.
Oh, okay.
So it's a lot of things going on.
Are y'all coming back to Arizona?
Better.
You better. So is there anything happening with your own, your solo career, or are you just focusing on Next right now?
It's all about Next. Even for me, it's like, even when you see me by myself, it's RL from Next. Well, tonight it's R from Next, because you got the
Okay, I got the L. Y'all see how lucky I am? I get to take the L. So y'all guys, when's the album coming out?
We'll do this first single, probably the second single by the summer, so probably the fall, I'm thinking.
Okay.
It's done. Like, the problem is trying to figure out which, everybody's saying like 10, 12 records. I'm like, no, I need like 15 to 17. We've been gone so long.
I'm gonna have to cop that.
Thank you.
No, we might have to cap that. We might have to get that right here on 101.1 The V.
I'm hoping so.
You know. Okay, so how do they find you? How do they find Next?
I'm just RL, JUSTRL. That's on Instagram and that's on Twitter. That's where you can usually find me. Probably post pictures of my daughter. That's about it. Next is nothing but Next underscore.
At the group next.
At the group Next underscore. Yeah, that's right. What am I thinking? So he's.
We got to shout out DJ Fresh over here.
Yeah, Kid Fresh, straight from LA. He came in, he's hanging with me, so yeah, shout out to my crew members too. Tweet, he's in LA. I know Tilo's here, hopefully he's listening. What's up, big bro? We here.
Okay. Well, you guys definitely check us out tonight at Club Envy. It's going down. It's over on McDowell and 51. Actually, this is going to be the hottest spot in Arizona, so that's what we're playing. All right, we'll see y'all tonight.